Hi, everybody. I'm Nichole Pointedujour, the CEO of the Master Connector Agency, and I'm also the author of The Master Connector, The Ultimate Guide to Building Impactful Connections for Life and Business Success. I'm also a former Wall Street executive. I've been on Wall Street for over 21 years and a full-time entrepreneur in the last 4 months.
Diversified game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, coming from the Hope Global Forum, I'm walking out the door. All you see are celebrities, and if this is a celebrity, because you probably saw her on Angelique's, podcast and others. But when I looked at her, I said, "Did Stacey Dash's sister come to this too?" And Nichole gave me the game of what she did. I thought it was so dope. She was running outside in that Atlanta cold. I had to ask her would she be on the show. So Nichole, thank you for coming on so you can kind of give us the game on what you do in this short time that we have it. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for stopping me and offering me to be on your amazing podcast. So, as I mentioned, I'm Nichole Pointedujour, the CEO of the Mass Connector Agency. I was on Wall Street for 21 years as an executive. I was an equity trader and an investment banker. While I was on Wall Street, I would go to certain events and I wouldn't see my friends that were amazing entrepreneurs doing their thing in their field in their rooms. And then I would go hang out with my friends that were super successful entrepreneurs, but I wouldn't see corporate executives that were VP level and above in their rooms. So God gave me the vision to create a room called In the Room Where the Deals Are Done, where I bring in Fortune 500 companies with their VP level executives and higher and successful entrepreneurs that are doing the thing in their field all in one room so that they can help each other get deals done. At each event, I interview a multimillionaire celebrity that has made it to give us their career trajectory. So the first event I interviewed Egypt Sherrod and Mike Jackson. The second one I interviewed Yandy Smith Harris. The third one I interviewed Dr. Eric Thomas, also known as the hip hop preacher. And this last one, last month actually, I interviewed Angela Yee. But at each of these events, we play networking bingo so that it forces you to talk to other people. Because as you mentioned, a lot of people know who celebrities are, right? But you don't know who these corporate executives are that have a seat at the table to help you with your business. So that's why we do the networking bingo so that you can engage with other people in the room and figure out what they're doing and what they're working on so that way they can potentially help you with your business. I also wrote the book, The Master Connector, The Ultimate Guide to Building Impactful Connections for Life and Business Success. I wrote that book because I've built a plethora of amazing people in my Rolodex that I can call on to help me with things in my business ventures. But how did I do that, right? And people always ask me, how do you know so many people? How did you meet this person? How did you meet that person? I put in the book, it gives you all the gems on how to grow your network, but the top 3 ones that I give out for free to everybody is, 1, do good business, right? Whenever you get the opportunity to work with somebody, make sure that you're doing great business, because if you do good business, that's free publicity and word of mouth and marketing for you. They'll say, "Oh, I work with this person and they did a phenomenal job. You should use them too," right? The second thing is, following up. So we were just at the John Hope Bryan conference, right? You followed up right away. I followed up right away. So when you're meeting people, don't just put their business cards in your purse or your wallet and lose them. Follow up within 24 to 48 hours. And so those are 2 key things that you should do to build your relationships. But the number one thing is lead with how you can help. A lot of times I'm privy to be around a lot of high profile people, and people are constantly coming up to them, asking them for things. Can you help me with this? Can you put me on your podcast? Can you help me with my business? Like, they get asked 20 million things all day long. But if you reach out to them and say, what are you working on for 2026? What are your business goals? Like, how can I help you? You're gonna stand out like you're gonna stand out like the 1%, because most people don't ask them what they need help with. They're always asking them for things. And so those are the top 3 networking tips that I tell people. A lot more in the book, how I built relationships, how I've known so many great people, how I've been on Wall Street for 21 years. But those are the three things that I help you get to the next level in relationship building.
Ready to dominate your industry with strategy that actually scales? At Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm, we're not just PR experts, we're licensed sports agents certified in AI and elite business consultants with over 2 decades of experience leading global projects across multiple countries. Visit cprfirm.com, that's colemanprfirm.com, and millionairex.ai. Then download the Millionaire X app, your AI powered guide to getting out of debt, investing smarter, and building generational wealth. Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm. It's a family business. It's different.
And you have a beautiful website. You have the book. You have the digital book. I didn't see the audio book, but you have a voice that people can wake up and go to sleep to that so they can get it while the game. Um, I told you that, you know, I have clients who need this type of help, and you said we can even show you how to do it. I think there's a gifting in how you're doing things. Not everybody has an MBA. Not everybody has a McKinsey connection and the other work that you did. But for the 14-year-old listening,
Hmm.
what was more important? Was it the McKinsey accelerator? Was it the MBA? Was it the bachelor's? Or was it just the connections and the network and people knowing you?
Oh, well, you did your homework on me. You know, having McKinsey. You're a great interviewer. Um, I said all the above. And what I mean by that is, every me getting the McKinsey thing, I was in a program with other people. So it helped build my network that way. Me going to college, I built a remit. So even in my business now, people from college, I was able to get a sponsorship for one of my events, and that came from somebody that I knew from college. One of my first client organizations that I'm working with came from somebody I met in college. Same thing with my MBA. But I also think when you're meeting these people, remember to keep those top 3 things in mind. Lead with how you can help somebody, follow up with them, and do good business. So the 14-year-olds, right? Like, we're still developing our skills and things at that age, but figure out what you're really good at and figure out how you can help your friends in that area, right? Because then their friends are going to tell you about them. You can say, hey, I charge $20 to consult with me, right? Because I'm really good at this, or I can help you do X, Y, and Z. And it's like whatever your fee is, you determine your fee, because you determine what the value is. But I think for the 14-year-old, one, follow your dreams and passion and figure out how you can help the next person. And one thing he brought up, which I mentioned, I didn't mention this in the interview, is that one, I help people get corporate sponsorships, which I think is a huge deal. Corporate sponsorships help you use other people's money to fund your dreams and businesses. So I was the head of sponsorships at JP Morgan for the last 5 years, and I was on the other side writing the checks out to these organizations. But when I went on my own, I knew what I needed to do to get these corporations to fund my businesses and my events and the things that I have going on. So I teach people how to do that, how to get those corporate sponsorships, because sometimes they don't even know where to start. You start with a sponsorship deck. My team does that. And the other thing is I have is a mentorship program, because people said we wanted more from you. We wanted to learn how you were on Wall Street for 21 years, how you were an investment banker, an equity trader, how you built your network. So I started a monthly membership that people pay me monthly to be a part of my ecosystem. I invite them to certain events. The Operation Hope event, I had extra tickets to that, so I put it in my membership. It's all about being in the room and getting access to people. And when you get the access, how do you execute that?
Amen. And for the maybe 44-year-old or the 34-year-old who says, I ain't got no money to be in your thing. Maybe there's a community give back. And I ask everybody what their community give back is. How can they get, maybe an extra ticket or to know, hey, come to this chamber event and get in that circle in case they played broke while having, a Mercedes Benz, a new chain, BVLs, and all type of, watches and everything.
So one, I tell people invest in yourself, right? It's easy to say I don't have money for X, Y, and Z, but then you'll go to the grocery store and spend X, Y, and Z, or you'll go shopping and spend X, Y, and Z, right? So you have to change your frame of mind of where you want your investments to be. Investing in yourself is the greatest gift. I share with you when I left Wall Street, right? When you're an entrepreneur, it's a whole different ballgame. That check doesn't come every 2 weeks, but I need to rebuild my website. And so I had to spend a couple grand on that. And I could easily say, oh my God, I don't have a couple grand on my website, but it's investing in my business, right? And so I wanted to change people's mindsets where we may say we don't have the money. And my membership is $99 a month. Come January, it's going up to $149 a month. So I tell people to get in now before it goes up because of the value that I offer them. But I do give back. So I do a lot of Instagram lives. And so for my in-person events, a general admission ticket is $150. VIP is $300. Sometimes if we'll do contests and we'll give away a VIP. At my last event with Dr. Eric Thomas, a guy reached out to me. He was in the hospital and he said ET saved his life, changed his life, and saved it. And so he wanted to come, but he had all these hospital bills. So I just comped a VIP ticket for him to get the experience and to meet him. So I'm constantly giving back. I constantly donate. I volunteer. I just gave 5 bags of clothes to Jamaica because I was like, let me purge my closets. But giving back is very important, right? To whom much is given, as much is required. But I will tell people to invest in yourself and in your business because it's easy to make a million excuses to say, I don't have money for X, Y, and Z, but then you'll go and buy a $500 shirt or something, right? And so I just want to change your mindset.
Okay, that's beautiful. What do you think when you've met presidents and you've met people who say I'm in poverty while looking rich? What's the key factor of the difference? Because just because you might be a president of the country, you guys go check out her out to see which president she's met, right? It might be
I love this. You are a really good interviewer. Look, I have a hard stop, but I'm gonna do an extra 5 minutes because I enjoy this conversation and your questions are really good. So
okay, thank you. But what do you think, mentality wise, what's the difference? Like what makes somebody who's, at this level and then somebody who maybe is coming up, but it all starts in the mind.
yes, for sure. Even in my membership, we do something called Mindset Monday. So I have a coach come on because again, you need that positivity and you get in the right mindset. I recently ran into Fawn Weaver, who I actually know. She's a billionaire, owns Uncle Nearest. And I've been asking people since I've been on this entrepreneurial journey, give me one piece of advice. And I'll just share the advice they gave me. So Fawn said, don't give up. It's easy to give up when things get hard, right? But your blessing is right on the other side. And it's something so simple, but it's something so true. So I think what makes the difference between the person that is still struggling or just gives up versus the person that you see here, because you don't see all the behind the scene things that the president is going through and all the different trials and tribulations, stress, but they never give up. So that's one thing I would tell you. Candy, I asked her, she's a famous singer. I asked her what's one piece of advice, and she said, always invest your money back into your business first, which is kind of what I told you guys. Like, we find the money that we need to keep things going for our businesses, right? So when you make a bunch of money, don't just blow it and spend it on whatever. Invest it back in your business so you can continue to grow and scale. And so those are like the two things that I know that two prominent people have told me as I'm on an entrepreneurship journey. But for myself, is never give up, right? Because some days are hard. It's like, okay, it's easy for me to go get a 9 to 5 job. I'm very employable. I've been on Wall Street 21 years as an executive, as a VP, have an MBA and all the things. And it's easy for me just to go back into someone's corporation and get a job. But God said, no, I need you here to focus on this business so you can impact more people. And so I tell myself every day, there's a bigger mission. I'm here to serve, and I can serve more people with no strings attached at a corporation doing my own thing for the Master Connector Agency.
Okay. With your last name, I have to ask because I'm here in Palm Beach County. Getting Haitians work is just something that guys put on me because I think Haitians haven't been treated right. You don't bring people in the country and, don't try to help them. And this government has not tried to help them. They brought them in, but to get them help. Are you doing anything in Haiti, whether it's in the capital or in OCAP? Because the last name, I assume you're somehow connected to Haiti.
Yeah, so my husband is Haitian. He did a lot of mission trips. I didn't go when he did them a while back. It wasn't the safest place for us to go now because we definitely wanted to go. And I was actually supposed to visit last year, but we were going on a cruise and it didn't make it there because of, I guess, the weather. But we do a lot of like give backs. We send things over there. We send clothes. We send certain things. So that's like the extent that we do it at this current capacity, just because of it's not really safe for us to travel there right now.
Okay. I had a client go last year to all the Caribbean. Haiti was her favorite place. She said, okay, like every Haitian tells me, it's beautiful. I can't wait to go, but I don't have a Haitian to go to. Please, somebody, let's go. Show me. My French is terrible, so my Creole is non-existent. Um, with that, and Haiti is the next Hawaii. Just remember I said that.
It was beautiful. Yeah, I hear the same thing.
Yeah. International.
I've been to 44 countries in all 50 states and 6 continents.
And where's the book, the YouTube, or the series coming out so we can hear about that and see it in real time?
Yeah, everybody tells me to do a travel blog, do a connections blog. Everybody tells me cook. I cook very well. So it's funny, I give me this blog. I'm like, it's so much work. No one told me that you needed to be a content creator to be an entrepreneur. So it's like the two things. But yeah, like I love traveling. I've been, like I said, to 46 countries, actually, not 44, because I just went to Tokyo and Korea last month. No, September. So yeah.
Arigato. What's your favorite country thus far and why?
Bora Bora is one of my top, because I love the over the water bungalow, and you can, like, when you're in your room, you can see like the fish and stuff swimming underneath your bungalow. I love Portugal. I feel like it's a hidden gem. People don't talk about it enough. But Portugal, Greece, Bora Bora. I liked Thailand. Korea was beautiful. So those are like the top. countries that I like.
Hello, everyone. Join us on an exciting journey with Explore the World Cameroon. London and Sydney will take you explore Cameroon, the heart of Africa. Experience the vibrant culture, nature, and traditions from Yaoundé market to rainforest adventures. Every page na new discovery. Join the Cameroonian food, music, and wildlife with our explorers. This book na true celebration of Cameroon spirit. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and through your library and bookstores here in Grams Park. Don't miss this adventure.
Now, could you navigate around Korea? Because they don't have Google Maps in Korea. And when you put it in Korean, in their thing,
No, so I had a tour guide. So I paid a lot of money for a tour guide for the day. He picked me up straight from the airport. I actually was staying in Tokyo, and I went to Korea for the whole day. I went at like 11 o'clock p.m. and then returned at like 8 p.m. the next day. But yeah, I had a tour guide pick me up, and he kept me with him the whole day. Took me to all the sites, all the restaurants, all the things, and so that's how I got around.
and she said, people say she should do a blog. Did you have enough content where you could join us here in South Florida at the NATPE conference and, maybe have buyers buy your story and do it again with a full crew? Is that something you'd be open to?
Never say never. So I'm not gonna say no because I would say like if you would have told Nichole that because everybody's always asking me what's next, right? Like what like you've accomplished so much. I had my MBA at 23. I was on Wall Street at 21. Like I've accomplished a lot, right, in my life, and I'm all glory to God. Like praise to Him that has kept me and guided me and took me on my journey. You always ask me what's next for you, and I said, well, if you would have told this girl, the first person to go to college in her family, born in Newark, New Jersey, right, like that I would be an executive on Wall Street, like I would never have even seen that. And if you would have told me that I would become a full-time entrepreneur, I would never have saw that. So I never know what's next, but what I do know is I always do good business. I operate in excellence, and whatever I say I'm going to do is going to get done. So I'm a woman of my word. Like I said, doing good business is so important because that carries your name in rooms that you're not even in.
And when people hear Wall Street, they'll say, "Oh, well, she just got there." But you also work, at Wells Fargo. Talk about, the going to that level, because some people say, "Well, you don't need a degree to work on Wall Street. I was doing it in the '80s." What is your, thought on the process
Definitely
of
need a
going from
degree.
school to Wall Street?
You definitely need a degree. If you wanna work on the retail side, which is like banking, like branches, you don't need a degree for that. You can start off as a teller and work your way up on the retail, bank branch side. But to work as an investment banker, yes, I started out at Corporate Securities. I was on the trading floor supporting the equity desk, the bond desk, and the option desk. So I supported all three different products. So that's where I was my first introduction into Wall Street. And then when I received my MBA, I joined one of the top three financial institutions as an investment banker. And you have to have a degree to be in this investment banking program that I was in, and they only recruit from the majority of the recruits come from Ivy League. So when I got there, everybody said, "Oh, I went to Harvard, I went to Yale, I went to Princeton." And at the time, I was coming from Virginia Union University, which is an HBCU in Richmond, Virginia. And back in the early 2000s, HBCUs wasn't as popular as it is now. They've been around forever, but like I feel like they're talked about. Yeah, yeah. I feel like they're talked about more now in the last 10 to 15 years than they were almost 20 years ago, right? And so for me to get into this investment banking program at one of the top three financial institutions, investment banking specifically, and they only recruited from Ivy League was a big deal. So I don't want anybody to think you could just get in there without a degree. You have to have, and not only do you have to have a degree, you have to have a 3.75 GPA. So you have to have a degree with the top grade. So I had a 4.0 with my MBA and then a 3.8 in the last semester of undergrad. But long story short, you have to have a degree, you have to know markets, you have to pass certain classes, to even be considered, and they had, like, over 40,000 applications, and they only picked 40 of us, so it's a rigorous process. I didn't just end up there, it took a lot of work, had to have good grades, had to have good work ethic, good acumen, be able to pass a markets class, an Excel class, a PowerPoint class amongst these top, contenders that were coming from Ivy League.
Because where we met and because we have 4 minutes left, I have to ask you, and you guys take this advice and go do your own research. So don't say Nichole told me, but finance. Less than 5% of Black folks have fully funded their 401k. We don't want to put fish fries when people die. What can people be doing to get right, to get prepared, especially if they're over 30, especially if they're over 40, because we are in a crisis where we're seeing 80-year-olds still work.
Yeah, that's so important. So yes, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot provide any financial advice exactly like you said, but I do say that it's like in 5 minutes. I do say that your 401k is very important, right? When you get out of college, when you get to your first job out of college, they don't really talk to you much about that. But if you max that out, that's free money. Most corporations will match your 401k amount between 3 to 7%, depending on where you work. Also, life insurance. I learned that the hard way. And what I mean by that is I worked on corporate Wall Street for over 20 years. They give you life insurance, and it's like $6 or something to get life insurance through the company. But when you leave, the life insurance doesn't go with you. So now here I am in my 30s getting life insurance again, which costs you a premium. Thank God I'm healthy, right? Because if you're not healthy, then there's a whole other thing trying to get life insurance. But I was paying the $6 at this corporation for so long in my 20s. But then when I left, the life insurance didn't come with me. So I had to reapply for my own personal policy. So those two things are very important. Like you said, the younger you are, the cheaper life insurance is. So I encourage everybody to get that as soon as possible, especially right out of college. You can get life insurance on a baby. So you can get it at 1 or 2 years old, right? And so as soon as you know about life insurance, please invest in yourself and get a policy. And then also, like you said, 401ks, you should invest max it out if you can, right? Don't go broke trying to max out your 401k, but if you can, when you first get your first job, because companies usually match those two things. So those are great tips that you gave on financial health.
With the average car payment being more than $600 something in this country, they can afford it. They can afford it. You know, 20.
All about you say your mindset, you figure out what is important to you, right? Like life insurance versus a fancy car, right? So yeah, you're right.
Yes. And with the last question and the time coming down, any other advice that you see? Maybe it's a mistake people are making, maybe it's the things that people are doing right. What is the most important for that entrepreneur, especially those of us who went to HBCUs, found our whys at HBCUs, and are thriving for the last 20 plus years? Give us the game. What could we be doing? Or do you see the mistakes that people are doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the biggest mistake that see people doing is not starting. A lot of people ideate so many times. They come to me, I have this idea. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, okay, have you started? Have you even started promoting yourself on social media so people know what you're doing so they can help support your business? Oh, well, I don't feel like I have the right setting or I don't look this way. You just have to get on there and start. People are so in their mind that they don't know how to just start. Like, again, I never thought that God gave me the vision and said, you're gonna create a room where you're bringing in your network, because people will always say, how do you know so many people in corporate, entrepreneur, all these places? And God was like, you're gonna create this room where you're gonna bring together your network, which is corporate executives and industry leaders all in one room in Atlanta, which I was at the time I was only here 2.5 years. I was new here. I'm like, I don't know that many people. The first event I did, 150 people showed up, right? And so had I not started, like I wouldn't be where I am now. Like the ET event I did, over 250 people showed up, right? And then I got corporate sponsors like Amazon and Truist and Puma. Like, so had I been stuck in my head and being like, I don't even know where to start or what to do, like my business wouldn't be where it is today. And it's only a year old. But I encourage everybody to just start. Do good business. I need to drive that home. That is so important. Be a man and woman of your word. When you do a great job, it's word of mouth. I have to give a fun fact. So my makeup artist, she does my makeup, and one of my friends is a celebrity, and she was like, "Oh, your makeup looks great." I plugged her in with my friend, and now she's a celebrity makeup artist. She has 10 top celebrities. One of them is a fashion model. Some of them are reality stars. Like 10 top celebrities on her roster, because once she does good business, she responds on time, does a great job at the makeup, but I'm a walking billboard for her, right? Like, oh, I love your makeup. Oh, this person did it. And she's very responsive. So now her Rolodex is filled with celebrities, which is great because it's more promotion for her business. That's just an example of doing good business, showing up, and just starting.
You guys have got the game. I thank you for that extra time on that shot clock. When you're ready for YouTube, and if you need a team, I want to elevate your YouTube by bringing you on one of our clients that has a bigger audience. And
I love that.
because you got it. The it factor is there. You guys, Links will be in the description for the masterconnectoragency.com. Check it out. Thank you for tuning in. You can comment. I know most of you are listening on Podbean and Apple. You can like, but most importantly, go to YouTube too and share this game. It will change somebody.
No, I was going to say before you drop it, thank you so much for that. I want to say, like, you did the 3 things that I said about the art of networking, right? You met me, followed up right away. We got on this in less than 24 hours. You lead them with value, saying, Nichole, I want to put you and expand your business, your new opportunities to other people, right? Led with value. And like I said, just doing a good job. So like, congrats to you, like already, being the master networker and doing those things. And you can find me on Instagram at the Master Connector. And then also, like you said, my website is www.themasterconnectoragency.com to get in touch with me.
Those 2 guys that always see my guest and try to hit them in the DMs with some nonsense, she told you she was married.
I was definitely happily married, yes.
Coming with some real business. Thank you, Nichole. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster? MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.